curiosity, citizen.
Well, howdy, hello, and welcome to another Perfect Park Day, the interview, discussion, dream show where we take people in the community, park fans, strangers, I don't know, and ask them what they need to make their perfect park day. And I have an awesome guest, a cosplayer, a theme park aficionado, and a friend. We have Ashton the Slytherin here with us. How are you, Ashton?
Hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for having me. I've been kind of like out of it lately, so I'm glad to be back talking theme parks. How are you doing?
I'm good. I had 2 days without power. I was doing. I tried to play Fortnite on my phone with people, and it was terrible. But
Why would you
besides
play
that,
Fortnite on your phone?
I
Why would you? I
I
didn't even put
tried.
in your phone.
I tried. But yeah, it was interesting. But I had a good day at Universal yesterday. Of course, I timed it before the Christmas decorations were up. So yeah,
Are the
but it
Christmas
was fun.
decorations not up yet?
They're up today.
Up today.
I went yesterday.
Yeah, Disney went in like the day after and had them like right up. Like they
Yeah.
spared no costs because like Mickey's Halloween party was the night of Halloween. And basically, I think they just had them in buckets ready to go out. And the moment the last person was out of the park, they just started decorating everything because the day after Halloween, everything was up.
Well, I
That's a
mean,
lot of icicles to put on the castle.
yeah.
So
Well, yeah, I will admit I prefer Christmas at Disney. I think they do more in general for all of the
mhm.
holiday for Christmas. Epcot's my favorite. I don't care about Magic Kingdom really during Christmas. The storytellers, best thing. The like the international storytellers around Epcot giving their holiday traditions is the most Epcot thing Epcot has left. So
I've
that's my.
actually never been to a theme park during Christmas time,
You
ever. Like,
haven't?
not Six Flags, not Disney, Disneyland, Disney World. Never been to Universal during Christmas time.
Or,
They don't really
we-
do Universal Christmas in
U-
California.
Universal
So,
Christmas here is amazing.
you know what? Disneyland Christmas is amazing, but I've never been. If you go to Disneyland for Christmas time, like they take the Small World at Disneyland is obviously a whole different setup than Disney World. Like Disney World, it feels naked to me. Like there's nothing there. But Disneyland, Small World is its own thing. So when it's during Christmas time, they cover the entire thing in Christmas lights. And like you don't watch the show on the castle, you watch the show on Small World because the lights change and it's so beautiful. It's the most magical thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But I've only ever watched videos of it because I've never actually been in person, but it's like my dream to go see Small World during Christmas time in Disneyland.
Disneyland. I will make my way over to Disneyland. I promise everyone. I will make my
Oh
way
my
there.
gosh. It is the most, honestly, Christmas. I watch the Christmas parade every year on Christmas Day, but I've never been during Christmas time. I think I have to go.
All
I
right.
saw the merch for Christmas merch already, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. But the
Um.
new fireworks isn't out yet. And apparently Happily Ever After is going to be coming. Or no, sorry, not Happily Ever After. Um, the fireworks show before the 50th anniversary fireworks is going to be coming
Wishes
back.
of the
Yeah,
60th
not
for
wishes.
Disneyland 60th anniversary fireworks. That
No,
one.
no, 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 no. The one before the 60th anniversary. It wasn't wishes. It was one after that.
Um.
Enchantment is it what it's called?
Theme park casual. Please, you're the Disneyland person in here.
No, no,
If you're in the
Disney
chat,
World. Disney
are you
World.
talking? You were talking Disney World. All right.
The
So
Disney World fireworks.
it was Happily Ever After and Wishes was before Happily Ever After. I think. So I
So
think
Happily Ever After was before the 60th, right?
before the 50th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happily Ever
I'm
After
sorry,
was the one right
50th.
before the 50th.
Disneyland is
You
60th.
said you said the 60th. I'm like, I'm
I'm all
going to
over the
Disneyland.
place.
All right,
I'm all
all
over
right.
the place. I'm sorry. But
It's
I will
okay.
say my favorite fireworks show ever to be done at a Disney park was the 50th for Disneyland. It was the most amazing fireworks show I've ever seen in my entire life. No projections, nothing, but still the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life because the music and the theming was so perfectly done. And my close second, I would say, is Happily Ever After. That was before the 60th. Yeah. Happily
Okay.
Ever After I actually cried watching. I was like, oh gosh.
All right. Well, let's also let people know what it is, what you do, and where you're like what you do, because there's people in the chat. I think some people know you, and I will acknowledge the chat in a little bit, but I want Ashton to be able to say what she's been up to and stuff like that, because that's part of the reason she's here.
Okay, so obviously I do cosplay. I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, so I talk about all things Harry Potter. I'm also really big into Doctor Who, Firefly. Um, Horror movies is a big thing for me. I love horror movies. And I just love going to theme parks. So you often see me on here with Rogue, just chilling, hanging out. I often go by myself. I haven't been updating my YouTube channel as much as I should be. I apologize. I haven't uploaded in months and months and months. Moving here kind of got in the way of that. But I'm definitely going to be uploading more, especially coming soon. I want to do more vlogging. But I've been mostly on Twitter and Instagram, kind of just like yelling at Bob Chapek, honestly. So
Well, no one's really a big fan of Chapek. Let's be honest.
even the big Disney, even the ones who are going to Disney, who are paid by Disney, don't even like Bob Chapek. Okay, like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say right here, Disney will never hire me. Unfortunately, as much as I would love to go to their events and get their behind the scenes stuff, I refuse to pretend as if Bob Chapek's a good guy. Like, or at least maybe he's not a bad guy, but like he's just definitely not doing things that we want to be doing. He's definitely just trying to squeeze every last penny he get. And there is not a single Disney influencer out there who can tell me that Disney Genie or Genie Plus is like a good thing to work with for fast passes. No Disney influencer is going to tell me that the Star Wars Cruiser is a good experience. There's not a single Disney influencer out there who can tell me that like we're getting better and better like attractions in the Disney parks, because we all know they're lying. Like there's no reason to take out more Disney attractions when we have all the space, we have enough room in Epcot for 7 more worlds or 7 more countries, and we're just removing good attractions that everybody wants to keep for new stuff that's just cheaper.
That is true, and it's also stuff that goes along with current stuff. Now we don't get into those weeds here. This is all fun. I do want to acknowledge the chat because we have got people came in. Theme Park Casual, always a good friend of the channel. Knott's Berry fanatic as he is. Alaska Jeff is always up for some theme parks. He's also a former cast member too, so he knows the trenches just like myself. Nuance Observer, always in here. Always good to see you, Nuance Observer. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Hello, Alexander Lee, or Alexander, I said it right. Yes, I look very British. I'm getting a top hat for him. We're gonna do Tiny Tim and little
Scrooge.
holiday. Yeah, we're gonna get that going. So, yeah, so we're gonna get that going for the holidays to walk around. So and we have Neil Marshall popped in, saying how he misses you on the Simcast. I'm glad. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad I finally got to 1,000. I'm staying there is going to be the challenge. And yes, Grinchmas is awesome. Grinchmas we can talk about later, but that is an amazing event for free. You got to admit, Universal doing holiday events for free is a nice thing. Chris Arcella stopping in, also dropping some theme park knowledge. He's a big theme park guy past. And Paul Pressler, you're right. Bob Chapek is similar to Paul Pressler. I think Paul Pressler had a little bit better PR skills than Chapek, but it was also a different time, like 20 years ago or more. So yeah, like you're looking early 80s for Pressler. Very different time than now. And who do we have popping in here too is my buddy Jay Drunk 3PO. How you doing, man? Nice seeing you in here. I will try to keep myself in check. And we have his suggestions. Ashton say add Rebel streams to protect your catalog of content. Okay, that's advice from Neil Marshall.
Disney might come down and smack me across the head. You never know. Like, I love Disney. I love the Disney Corporation, obviously. Like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't love these franchises so much. The reason I'm so critical of Disney now is because they're basically destroying themselves, and I don't want to watch them destroy themselves. And, it's like I would hope that a company like Disney would take in this criticism from their audience, their target audience, and the people who give them money, and think, how can we make more money off of these people? Let's not try to silence them. Let's actually listen to what they have to say and like work with what they're trying to tell us. Because at the end of the day, it's so weird. It's like 20 years ago, right? If the customer said something about the corporation or said, hey, we don't like this, the corporation's like, oh, you pay us, you give us money, therefore we're going to listen to you. And now it's like, oh, we're just going to make sure they can't post on social media about us, kind of thing. And this is definitely a factor of that these businesses now rely more on stockholders and rely more on BlackRock and things like that. And it's less about the consumer. It's less about the consumer and more about the stockholders, which is honestly the worst thing that could have happened to the consumer. The consumer no longer matters, unfortunately. But maybe if we like fight hard enough, and as much as I would hate to do it, stop giving them my money, they might actually listen to us. But who knows?
Well, coming from DVC, I mean they were bad to us in the first place. We're the one of the higher affinity groups over annual pass holders. We're giving them at least $1,300 a year, up to anywhere up to like 5,000, depending on the size of your contract. And we're repeat customers because we bought in. And they during the pandemic, we never got any notifications of anything. Never saw it like, oh, don't worry, we'll hold your points, or oh, don't worry, nothing. And that shows you people that are consistently going for at least, I've been, my parents were members in 91 when it started. I've been a member since 2005. I've gone every year, and we got no communication during the pandemic. None. So if you're telling me, yeah, they don't care about the affinity groups, no, they care about the family that's coming from the UK or they're coming from Ohio and spending $6,000 on one trip. That's kind of what they care about, and it's not the right thing. Yeah, and I kind of agree with what Theme Park Casual says. Repeat customers equal trapped customers. I kind of agree with that. I'm bought in. My contract goes until 2042. I have a invested interest in going to Disney because I already paid into it. Now, do I love the fact that I'm only paying like $1,200 and I get to stay on property like 5 times a year for 5 weeks?
That's pretty amazing.
Yes, I'm sorry. I love that. I'm not going to get rid of that because I know how much it costs to stay on Disney property, and it's not cheap. So having DVC, also look into renting DVC points. You're going to cut your costs in half if you want to stay on property. Just trust me. Like, don't pay cash to the hotel side. I'm not going to say any actual company do it. I'm not going to endorse anyone, but just look into doing it. It definitely saves you money. I want to say hi to some other people. Gilkman came in here. What's up, Tom? Odd saying that, but hey. And the Beampad, thank you for stopping in. So let's actually get started on the show. We've had some wonderful talk already, but I want to know. No, it's great. You're the most energetic guest I've had so far. Let's actually get into the part. Can you pay for my trip? Really? No.
How about you super chat Tom and pay for his trip?
Yeah, get me monetized. Watch some past videos. Jeez. All right, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of this, the actual Perfect Park Day. Now, we're going to go over the rules a little ahead of time so Ashton knows everything crystal clear. You are not bound by time, space, location. You are not bound by theme park. You are not bound by anything. You are going to get your Perfect Park Day.
Doesn't get in my way.
No, so Doctor Who is running your trip. Doctor Who is running your trip. So, and it's I would say the Matt Smith or David Tennant Doctor or whatever
we love David Tennant.
All right, David Tennant. David Tennant's running your trip right now.
I'll take Scrooge McDuck to a trip to Disneyland. Why not?
Okay, so let's bring this in, and we always start because I do love food. Let's start with the Perfect Park dining. So first, now this is going to be a little bit different because you're a park aficionado. So when park people come in, I get a little bit curveballs and hardballs to them. First item you eat walking into the park and the last meal you have. So that your first snack, whatever it is, walking into your Perfect Park Day, and the last meal, your dinner, your dessert, leaving for the day.
So just to be clear, this is breakfast now, right?
You're talking breakfast. So your first breakfast meal, whether it be like, Mickey waffle or, eating at Kona Cafe, whatever it is from anywhere.
So we're going to do like since time isn't an issue, right? Which I can figure we can do all the rides that I want to do since time is an issue. I say we're going to go to, what is it? It's at, I totally forgot the name of the resort. It's at the Wilderness Lodge. And
Whispering Canyons Cafe?
Yes, and you go there and you get like the unlimited Mickey waffles, bacon, eggs, all the muffins and things like that. I want to do breakfast there. It's my favorite place to have breakfast ever is Wilderness Lodge.
That is a wonderful resort. I think I have some Whispering Canyon videos on my channel, so I'll plug them in later. I haven't done breakfast yet. I've done dinner because that's amazing. It's $25 all you can eat barbecue skillets. Like, yes, Disney's expensive. Anywhere you can get all you can eat for under $40 or $50. Do it. And it's actually good, but that's beside the point. Good choice. Now, my question is, on that plate, Is it the Mickey waffle? Is that what you're going for? Is that your main drive, that Mickey
Oh my
waffle?
gosh, the Mickey waffles. Honestly, like I never understood the hype around Mickey waffles. Because seriously, Mickey waffles in Disneyland aren't that good. They're just like waffles. But in Disney World, they're like, especially Wilderness Lodge. I don't know what it is. They're extra better at Disney World at the Wilderness Lodge. There's like extra butter or something in the Mickey waffles that like you open them up and it's almost like a pastry. Like it's not a waffle. It's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I
Remember,
love it.
remember, theme park calories are 3 times the amount of normal calories. Just letting you know.
Don't
Um,
care.
I will say I'm gonna ask because you're kind of close to where my favorite breakfast spot is, which is Kona Cafe. Have you had the Tonga toast?
I have again, I haven't been to any of these places yet.
All
It
right, I'm
is
gonna
your
have to.
job to like
I'm gonna have
basically
to.
take me here, Tom. It's your job to take
I'm
me
gonna have to
here.
fix that. We're gonna have some. We're gonna have some review, some joint reviews coming up because Ashton needs to have some good food
Oh
on the
my
parks
gosh.
that are
I'll take you
so.
to Disneyland. We'll get you some beignets. You take me to
Oh,
wherever in Disney World. Oh my gosh. The
all right.
beignets are amazing. Okay, let's
Okay.
continue.
All right. So we have your first meal now. Since, like I said, you are a theme park fan.
hmm
Most overrated and underrated Disney snack.
Oh my gosh. Most overrated? Okay. So, most underrated, I will say Dole Whips used to be underrated. People used to not realize how great the Dole Whips were. So I'm not going to say that that's most underrated. I will say the most underrated. My goodness, I feel like I like all the things that are honestly Disneyland's Mickey Mouse pretzels that are filled with cream cheese,
Regular cream cheese or jalapeno cheddar?
regular cream cheese, like the sweet cream cheese. Like there's like it's like cinnamon and sugar dusted on it, and there's like cream cheese in the middle. So good, so
Okay,
good.
and you're overrated.
Most
Like,
overrated. So churros at Disneyland are pretty good, and churros at Disney World aren't as good. But I'll even say like the Disneyland churros, I know everybody loves them, but I'm not like the biggest fan of them, honestly. I'm not a churro person. I've had Disneyland churros. I don't get the hype. Don't understand why. But oh, and the turkey legs. Ugh, I'll never eat a turkey leg. Ugh. I took one bite of one. Nasty. Gross. Uh,
so you're the third person and that I've asked that question to. No one has said the Mickey ice cream bar or ice cream sandwich. I'm
Oh yeah,
surprised
well
by
here's the
that.
thing is people no one hypes up the Mickey ice cream bar though. That's the thing. I feel like it used to maybe like why would you ever spend your money on that? Like I've never ever bought a Mickey ice cream bar, a Mickey ice cream sandwich. It's just an it's if anything, it's worse than a normal ice cream sandwich or ice cream bar because it's like extra frozen and like super hard when you eat it. Yeah, don't get those. Do not get those. But yeah, don't touch the turkey legs, in my opinion. Don't. Oh, you know what? I have a new underrated Disneyland pickles. Disneyland pickles are the best pickles you'll ever have in your entire life.
So is it the pickle or the pickle corn dog I see all the time on
No,
Instagram from
it's the pickle.
from?
It's the
Okay, just
pickle.
the
Like
pickle.
just the
Okay,
plain pickle. Like honestly, and the spicy pickles even better. So good.
okay. You get me curious now for Disneyland more so. So I'm it's a little.
Disneyland has better food. Like I love
I,
Disney World for the atmosphere, but Disneyland has better food. The better parts of the Caribbean, better Haunted Mansion. Um, I will say Thunder Mountain. Actually, I think Thunder Mountain's even better at Disneyland. Honestly, Space Mountain's a little better at Disneyland.
you can't
I
say
like
splash. You can't say
Splash is better
splash.
at Disney World, 100%. Um, I don't know. Honestly, moving here makes me kind of miss Disneyland. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really just I love Disneyland.
Okay, and now for your dinner, and this is your dinner on your last day of your trip. You're about to pack up. What is that meal that is the perfect kiss for the end of your trip?
We are eating at Blue Bayou in the Parts of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland.
Okay, so you're a fan of Cajun.
It's actually not Cajun food that they
It
serve at the.
isn't.
It's not. So it's like more so French, if anything, like actually French. And I would get a Monte Cristo, and you can actually share a Monte Cristo, like a platter between 4 people. It's huge.
Okay, so we got Blue Bayou. So you have been very Disneyland centric, which a lot of my West Coast favorite people have been doing.
Well,
But
I
that's
would have done this
okay.
at Disney World, honestly. But here's the thing, the food is better at Disneyland. Like, I'm sorry, it just is. And like this is coming from someone who just like I haven't experienced enough food at Disney World to really say it.
We'll fix that. We'll fix
But
that.
we'll fix it. Like honestly, I will say this. Like there's just something about like the Dole, even the Dole Whips taste better at Disneyland. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the feeling, just like, oh, I've got it. We're just waiting in line for the Tiki Room. Oh, Dole Whips are right there. I don't know.
All
Like I
right.
won't ride Tiki Room in Disney World. It's not the same thing. It's weird.
I get that. I get that. Even though the Dole Whip is next to the Tiki thing still, but I get your point.
It's not the same thing because what you do is you actually go into the Tiki line and then you can actually wait in line at the Tiki Room while you're ordering a Dole Whip. It's the weirdest thing. It's like because the Dole Whip section's actually in the Tiki Room line.
Well, since you're bringing up Tiki Room, one second, I do want to acknowledge. Hey, Tim, I see you popped in here. What's up? How you doing? Oh, I picked on the wrong one. Sorry, I'm not that good at this YouTube stuff. Dole Whip is okay. Alaska Jeff, Dole Whip is never overrated.
I love Dole
Sorry.
Whips. Well, you know, you have to be a huge pineapple freak like myself to like a Dole Whip. And the thing is, I will say this: I like Disney World Dole Whips. Here's the thing: I like Disneyland Dole Whips because of like the feeling of like I don't know. It just feels like I have a whole like system for getting a Dole Whip in Disneyland, right? But in Disney World, I do appreciate the different flavors of Dole Whip. Like you can't get an orange Dole Whip or a coconut Dole Whip or but pineapple's pretty classic. Let's be honest, it's pretty good.
I'm just gonna say a Dole Whip float with the pineapple juice and coconut Dole Whip on a hot day, walking around with it as the Dole Whip itself, like the ice cream starts to melt. You have that nice like pina colada drink going as you walk around. That's nice, and you gotta realize it's 100 degrees. Any cold thing in a theme park is not overrated. But I will say, since you already brought up Tiki Room, which is an attraction, we can head on to our next pillar of Perfect Park Day, which is the perfect park attraction. Now, I will set out the boundaries. This is the first ride you go on, the first thing you're roping dropping for, and the last ride before you leave your final day of the trip. We're going to throw some curveballs, but I want those two first.
The first thing I do is I go on Peter Pan's flight because all of the Karens are just like basically standing outside. It's gonna be a huge line with all the kiddos. Peter Pan's flight always has like a 60-minute plus wait, but it's like one of my favorite rides in the entire park. I love Peter Pan. It's just a perfectly done classic ride. You know what, actually? And then I go on to Mr. Toad since we're in Fantasyland. But first we're gonna do Peter Pan's flight since we want to avoid that line. And then I go to Mr. Toad in Disneyland because I love Mr. Toad. But my last ride of the day, I will say the best ride to do at night is honestly, I really do love Splash Mountain at night, which I know a lot of people love doing it in the day when it's hot. In California, I can understand why doing it earlier in the day, but in Florida, it's hot all the time. So if you want to avoid that line, you do it at night. But you know what? Also, actually, I'll change it. My last ride of the day, if I really want a good adrenaline rush, I'm gonna have to say Hagrid's.
Okay,
The best
Hagrid.
ride to do late at night is Hagrid's because I totally forgot we can go beyond Disney, right? We can do Universal, right?
All right, so this is where the curveball comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Extinct attraction you would bring back to a park. So
Oh my
any
goodness.
extinct attraction, what would you bring back?
Winnie the Pooh, I'm sorry, you're going to have to get the heck out of there. Princess Fairy Tale, get the heck out of there because Snow White's Scary Adventures and Mr. Toad is coming back to Florida.
All
I
right, I like
love
those two
Mr. Toad.
choices.
Mr. Toad is, oh my gosh, Rogue, when you told me they were bringing a popcorn bucket with Mr. Toad, you best believe that like when I couldn't make any of the other days, the day I had to fly out to Atlanta, I like ran to Disney, like to Magic Kingdom, got myself one and got my dad one. So I was
It was
like,
kind of awesome that they let you mobile order outside the
I
park.
know, and not
Like
waiting in a giant line.
I mobile ordered from my house while driving. I'm like, can
I
I make
got
my
there at
9 o'clock
8 a.m. just to
time?
make sure.
Um, and this is kind of just sort of like another dream sequence,
Mm-hmm.
an IP or attraction that you would bring from a competitor's park to Disney and to Universal, vice versa.
Like you mean like a ride that doesn't exist?
No, no. So say like, what do you think would so say like Harry Potter?
Mm-hmm.
Would you bring Harry Potter to Disney?
No, I think Universal did Harry Potter perfectly. But I will say this: I wish Harry Potter was its own park. Like I wish, like I don't want to sit at the castle and be seeing like Rip and Rocket, from like the view of the castle. Like I wish Universal and J.K. Rowling instead worked together to like buy a separate piece of land. Like I know, like obviously, because when the contract runs out, like they're gonna have to take everything down, right? But the thing is I really do wish J.K. Rowling would have planned for like her own theme park and not try to rely on someone else's theme park. Like, I don't know. I think it could have been done on its own and could have
Well,
been because you would have more land too to put more stuff in there. Like, I would have loved to see like Nocturne Alley be bigger and like
yeah.
Diagon Alley be bigger and more things. Like, I wish Gringotts was a different ride. Like, I love the idea of Gringotts being a ride because it sounds like a ride when you read about it in the books, but it should be more roller coastery and less 3D. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I also think that, and I was thinking this the other day at Universal, walking around islands, that Kong Skull Island area, that should just be Harry Potter. Like, you should have just taken that section and added
I
another
think
section.
Dr. Seuss needs to be bulldozed. Like I know it's like important for Christmas time, but no one really goes to the area unless it's Christmas time. I think there should be more Harry Potter and they should dedicate Christmas time to Harry Potter World.
Well, that's contracts with JK though, and that's beyond my knowledge. But I do agree with it. It is becoming a more of a modern classic for Christmas, I think. So
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
I know
And
I feel like the people mover, but I don't understand the whole people mover thing. I don't get it.
the people mover thing is a I think more of like a teen. Like when I was a young teen going to Disney, you'd make friends because it'd be a week long. So that was a nice place to get away from the parents and
Mhm.
the people that you may have made friends with. And it's dark and it's dark. I'll leave it at that. But Chris, you bring up a good point. The 1994 version of Snow White is a lot better than the redone one
Yeah,
after
see, I'm
94.
born 1995, so I was unfortunately not alive when Snow White Scary Adventures were alive. But I heard it was so scary, children couldn't go on it. I will say this at Disneyland, I do prefer Disneyland's Fantasyland a little more to Disney World's because
It has
Disney
a
World,
better feel. It's a storybook. That storybook feel makes
well,
more
it
sense
feels
than
like
the
you're
carnival.
actually, it feels like you're actually in a storybook land. It's not like a carnival. It's not like a Renaissance carnival. So like when I
Okay.
go to, for example, again, like when I go to, on um, Small World, and like I remember walking, it just feels weird because Small World is supposed to be this big like white castle. Like it's not supposed to be like this random little like hut.
No, I get that. I never got the carnival, not like carnival or festival approach to Magic Kingdom's Fantasyland. I mean, I understood a little bit because it's kind of supposed to be coming from like King Arthur a little bit. Like you're having like the knights jousting in the background, and there was more of that originally in the early '80s and '90s. Now it's just sort of disjointed, especially with New Fantasyland and everything. It needs an entire new facade through and through. I agree. I have one last question, and this since you were a California native, more so, what Disney World park would you lift up and bring over to Cali?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What Disney World park? So like Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood
Animal
Studios.
Kingdom, most underrated Disney World park ever. Like one, it's always empty because it's underrated and nobody actually appreciates it enough. And honestly, I like like Animal Kingdom, not even for like the Pandora stuff. I almost like I love it for the animals. One, Everest is a great roller coaster, but I love Kilimanjaro safaris. I love it because it changes every time. And if you go when it's raining, that's when a lot of the animals come out. Like the elephants, like when I went out there when it was during a thunderstorm, there was elephants just like climbing up on trees and bringing down branches and oh my gosh, it's different every time depending on the weather and depending on the time of day. So Kilimanjaro safaris I think is what makes Animal Kingdom. People disagree with me. Also, Animal Kingdom's got great food. I think the best food is in Animal Kingdom. Like
Yeah,
everyone's like, "Oh, Epcot, Epcot." No, honey, you like Epcot because you can drink in Epcot. So if you're like me who doesn't drink alcohol, you don't really care about Epcot as much, but Animal Kingdom has the best food.
I agree with that. Satuli Canteen, I think, is one of the best quick services they have. I think on Disney property, it was so much better when it first opened up. They did make it a little bit less awesome, but that's Disney in general with anything. And as much as I like, some people aren't a fan of Landry's restaurants, but Yak and Yeti is a solid table service that you can almost always get into, and Tiffin's is amazing. So there are like three great places in that park. And I mean, Tiffin's on the more pricey side, but I completely agree about the dining. Animal Kingdom grew on me because when we were traveling when I was younger, it would be half day Animal Kingdom, half day Hollywood Studios. Like that's just kind of how it was before, Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge. Like those parks weren't full day parks when it was without Avatar.
Yeah, it's and I do appreciate more attractions being introduced to everything. For example, like Epcot, like I feel like Frozen did make it a lot more busier, a lot busier. And obviously, I personally think that Project Waywind, Guardians of the Galaxy rides, like one of my favorite rides ever made. I think it's really up there with Hagrid's. Honestly, it's just a beautifully done ride, and just it's awesome. But no, I think Animal Kingdom really is the best park. It's the most underrated, just because it's beautiful. There's trees everywhere. The animals are just, they're living in a great habitat. I mean, Animal Kingdom was approved by Jane Goodall as a habitat for these animals. So you really can't get any better than that. Plus, I really do love Everest. I think it's an underrated roller coaster.
I just wish they would fix the Yeti. I know Rhodey's gone,
Oh
but I
my
wish at some
gosh.
point they would
I
fix it.
know. You know
I
what though?
will.
I will say Matterhorn is, here's the thing, Matterhorn's a lot jankier than Everest, but I do have a lot of nostalgia for Matterhorn just because you can't see the Yeti. And I love the Yeti. I love Harold. I
Well,
praise Harold.
I thought they just redid the Yeti. They just
No, he's
redid
still
the
broken.
animatronic. In Matterhorn they redid
Oh no
it.
no 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 no! Yeah, they did the Matterhorn. The Matterhorn Yeti is great. It's the track because it's so
Okay.
old. Because you're just like, "Meh," you're like being like basically shoved out of your cart the entire time.
I mean, I understand the reasoning why that they would have to redo the entire attraction and take it down to fix the Yeti. I know that. I
In
understand it.
Everest.
Yeah, in Everest, you're not gonna. They can't waste that money.
Yeah.
That's
He's like
way too much.
basically bolted into the mountain. They'd have to like tear down the mountain in order to do that.
I want to thank Alaska Jeff for throwing $4.20 with a Stream Elements tip. Thank you very much for that, Jeff. Very kind of you. I think that we've talked attractions pretty well. I will say this. I'm curious. I ask people. You're on the younger side. Do you remember your first Disney attraction?
So I was actually less than a year old when my parents first took me to Disneyland. And so I don't really have memory. I have like memories that go back to when I was like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Like two, honestly, I think I can think of like faint memories from like being 2 years old, like my 2 year old, my second birthday party or something like that. But when I was like 1 year old, my entire life I've had like these faintest fever dreams of the country bears at Disneyland, and I never knew where they came from. I was like, why do I keep having these weird like flashbacks to like a fat bear on a swing and like bears singing about blood and water? And I had no idea where it came from. And then one day I watched like old like VHS tapes of me as a baby, and I'm like I think 9 months old at Disneyland, and there it is, like like the video of like this bear singing about like on a swing. And I'm like, oh, that's my earliest memories is this fat bear at Disneyland singing on a swing. So I would say maybe my earliest memories is the country bears and me as a baby very confused. But it's kind of cool to think that I have early memories from 9 months old of these fat
That's actually that's a
bears.
wonderful memory. That's a wonderful memory. The fever dream part of it's a little weird, but it's a
If
wonderful memory.
you don't know the context of it, it's very scary.
Yeah, that's actually kind of awesome. I love that. See, that's the thing that parks and this stuff, like theme parks do, is they instill those memories in you. I think a little bit more even than movies and stuff because you're getting all the senses.
Yeah.
You have touch, sense, sound, and it's with your family most of the time. So those are more imprinting memories, and that's awesome. That's a beautiful memory. Thank you for sharing that. And now that we're out of attractions, we're going to where my credit card cries. Merchandising, where yeah, my credit card cries. So this is an easy one. It's simple. Should be simple. Um, basically, you first the one souvenir or merch or gift, whatever it is that you're leaving on the last day that you know you would cry or tear yourself or have FOMO over of missing, And the second question will come after you answer that.
Mini ears. It's so basic, but I collect mini ears. I'm obsessed with them. I love mini ears so much. I have two giant boxes in my closet of just mini ears that I don't even wear. But it's great though, because that way if I have like people who come to visit me and they don't have mini ears, they can just like borrow one of mine. But I love
I,
mini ears. I love them. They make me so happy.
I do that with lightsabers. But all right, so mini years, and now this is more of the whole space and time not being. What extinct attraction would you want a piece of merch for the most?
Anything, Mr. Toad.
But doesn't he still exist in Disneyland?
Yeah, I mean he does, but he doesn't exist here. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess it doesn't really count. But here's the thing: in Disneyland, they don't have Mr. Toad merch like ever. So they also don't have the Tower of Terror, which I kind of miss too.
Did
And
you
if
see
anything,
the
it's
new
like,
ornament they dropped for Mr. Toad?
what?
Yeah, they dropped a new Christmas ornament. It was on
What?
sale actually.
I got my dad a Mr. Toad ornament a few years ago. Let me see. I need it.
I got it. I got two of them the other day. One for me, one for my brother
Do they
to
sell them
send up.
at the parks, or can I just get them online?
They were on Shop Disney a
Okay,
day or
I'm
two
buying
ago.
them now. Thank you.
No problem. Always love to share to know when there's ornaments for. I'm a big ornament person. I have more
Me
ornaments than I have
too.
room for trees. So I can't. What did you put, JT? You laughed at something. Okay, you
I
got a
really
bunch
love
of
the
laughing
newest
faces.
Rapunzel one, but the problem is that it doesn't have Flynn Rider with her, and I'm like, why would you make a Rapunzel ornament of her in the boat and Flynn Rider's not there?
Yeah, that seems off a lot.
Like it's
Also,
only half the boat. I'm like, what's going on here?
I'm gonna go back for a second to attractions. Tangled deserves an attraction, not
Thank you,
a
not a
bathroom.
bathroom. I want Rapunzel to have an attraction, not a bathroom. I also think Sleeping Beauty should have an attraction and not, just like a. I get she has a whole castle in Disneyland, but like, oh no. Also, I think they should do something to actually make Aurora's dress change color. We have Disney magic. Okay, we can figure this out.
I will say that's a good point. And it just you brought up Rapunzel and brought my head to it. I'm like, you gave him a bathroom.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, JT, you were laughing at the bear dream. Okay, well, yeah, it was funny. That makes sense. So mini ears. Okay, and you want anything Mr. Toad?
I love Mr. Toad. I love him. I
Uh,
just what's really sad though is that like I've Disney bounded as Mr. Toad, but I want to get a whole crew. Like I want to do Mr. Toad. I want to get C. Cyril the horse. I want to get someone to be Ratty and Mole and Badger, and I want us to walk around and like be almost like looking for. I don't know. I love Mr. Toad. I love him.
I have it. I guess I could do mole. I have the hat.
You are wearing the hat for Mr. Mole. I love Mr. Toad. He's just everything what Toady is me. He's just
Tangled
manic
wall
and
climbing.
kind of crazy. What?
Tangled wall climbing. That's an
Oh my
interesting
god.
attraction concept. I honestly here's the thing, and I will say that Tokyo's getting a Rapunzel ride. Tokyo gets everything cool. That
Because
makes me sad.
Tokyo knows what their audience wants. Tokyo has the cutest merchandise. Tokyo has the cutest rides. Like, and I don't know what we're doing over here. I don't know what we're doing. It's
Their
just,
their popcorn bucket, like their Christmas popcorn bucket, had gifts inside of the little gifts that you could open up. Like what? I'm just sorry. Like their Christmas tree popcorn bucket that they had with Mickey on the side, you could open up the little presents on the bottom of the tree, and there was stuff in there. Like we don't get that. We get here's Mr. Toad. Now I like the Mr. Toad popcorn bucket, but it could have used a little bit more care in some of the
I
construction.
threw the popcorn away. It was so nasty.
The rainbow. Like why was it rainbow? Like it should have just been buttered popcorn. You could have had a
It was
choice, but
so,
no.
I don't like popcorn at all, though. I'm a weirdo. So,
Oh yeah, that is a good point. Tokyo is run by the Oriental Land Company. Do know it's a licensee, so they have more freedom in what they can do. Um, but it's still like their merch game is top notch.
I will
It's the
say
best.
this,
No,
though. I'm looking at the shop Disney, and their like ornaments aren't the best right now. They were so cute a few years ago.
I will say I do love the Figment light up one that they had for the 40th that I was
That
able
is
to grab.
That is cute. That was pretty cute. But I want like a. They don't have anything with like Sleeping Beauty or anything like that this year. I'm like, what's going on here?
I don't know. The merch is going on and off from between being like, oh, this is kind of awesome. Like when they had all the Indiana Jones anniversary merch, like the Idol and the Holy Grail and all that. Like that was great. You're doing like mid-tier collectible level, like where people are like, oh, $100, I can do that. That's not that bad. You're not asking me for 1,800 or something.
Yeah.
But then like you look at the T-shirts or you look at the hats or you look at some of the other stuff, and it's like, wow, this seems cheap. Or wow, this is like way too much for what, like $85 for a Spirit jerseys or $100 for the Idol head. I'm gonna get the Idol head. Like
I do a theme. I do like a theme for like a Christmas tree every year. So I do like 1 year I did Doctor Who, and I got like a Barbie doll and I spray painted her gray and I made her so she's like covering her eyes, and I gave her wings so she's asleep. No, so yeah, so she's a weeping angel. So instead of like an angel on top of my tree, I had a weeping angel, and then I covered it in like little TARDIS lights that I got from Hot Topic, and it was a blue tree. And then last year I did like a normal like Christmas tree with like old world ornaments and stuff, and I had a really cool Christmas tree, but I had to sell it in Miami, unfortunately. And I might just do a Disney tree this year, just for the sake of the fact that both my roommates are cast members, and I'm, obviously a huge theme park aficionado. I'm like, I might just do like a Disney tree to like celebrate me moving here. I don't know. We'll see.
My tree doesn't fit in, so I had to buy a new one because I had cathedral ceilings in North Carolina. So I had like a giant, huge tree, and now it's tiny. Sad. Did I mute her?
No, I muted myself.
Okay. I'm still getting used to doing this stuff from home. I'm used to just having my phone and going live. So I'm like, did I press something by accident? I'm sorry.
You are totally fine, my dude.
All right. So now we're going on to the part that I actually like the most, which is, I do like merch. Don't get me wrong. I like attractions, but the thing that always made Disney seem different to me were the characters and the shows. And put it this way, after just coming from Fantasmic last week, the shows are starting to come back in a good way.
Yeah.
I want to know time, no time, no whatever. What would be your go-to character interaction that you'd want to have? Any character in Disney, any character in Universal, whatever it is, your go-to character interaction that you want to have, and what would be your final show you watch on your last day of your trip?
And wait. Can be any retired fireworks show?
Any show, any character, whatever it is. This is not bound by time or space.
Okay. I'm gonna do Happily Ever After fireworks show.
Okay.
I haven't seen Disney World's Fantasmic yet, so that could be better than what I'm thinking of.
Fantasmic, it was intense. I will say that. Like
Really?
being there with like 10,000 people in there, like the stadium full, and I will say I did kind of be a little bit harsh that I wish they threw in some more 90s characters into it, but the fact that it focused on Mickey Mouse and you get to see every version of Mickey Mouse throughout the thing. It's the only time you can see Mickey Mouse just in his red shorts.
Yeah.
Like it's the only time you can see that. It's like you get to see every version of Mickey. It is the longest show they have. It's like about 35 minutes.
Wow, it's way longer than Disneyland's. Okay, I have to watch it then.
It is so good. And actually, there's a pass holder only showing tonight that I'm gonna go to. 9:30 that I found out about today. So I have a Magic Kingdom pass that I guess I'm gonna have to use and then head over to Hollywood Studios. But and if anyone's in the chat and you want to go see Fantasmic, there's still Animal Kingdom park passes, and you can just hop over to Hollywood Studios. Just advice.
I do want to see it. I did see Indiana Jones show with you for the first time. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I will say also, and I said this in my live stream going over the show, do the dining package if you're worried about time and wasting it in the park. Just because there are some, I think Brown Derby is part of the dining package, and so is Hollywood and Vine and Mama Melrose's. Just do the dining package, and that way you have a secured seat and you're not wasting time waiting. Because I waited 2.5, 3 hours to get into the show.
Yeah.
So I would just do the dining package. This is just a friendly advice for anyone traveling, especially with younger kids. It's just easier. You're going to need to eat dinner anyway.
Mhm.
So paying a little bit more to have guaranteed seating. So far, I don't see any option on Genie Plus or individual lightning lanes for reserved seating yet. Just an FYI also. So your show would be Happily Ever. You said Happily Ever After, right?
Yep.
All right. So what character from all of those IPs, what character would you want to have a photo with?
What character? Oh my gosh, I would love to meet Charlotte LaBeouf from Princess and the Frog.
I'm surprised you didn't say Mr. Toad.
Okay, I'm sorry. Could you imagine meeting like a Mr. Toad?
Yes,
Like,
it'd be
terrifying
awesome.
that'd be? It'd be a giant dude frog head. No, thank you.
I like the weird looking ones. Like I like Big Al from Country Bear and getting pictures with him.
Oh god. Oh god. He looks like he's on drugs. No.
Well, yeah.
He's a terrifying man.
Well, okay. So you want to? I just found out today. And you were in the chat. He's already complaining. You do your stream for like 4 hours today, Jay. I'm sorry.
Thanks for the invite to what?
I mentioned the Pass Only Phantasmic tonight, and he's making me feel bad as always. I didn't say it. So you want Princess in the Frog? Interesting choice. Choice. A respectable one though. It's a newer property, but I like it. So
yeah, but you meet like all the other new properties. We never meet Charlotte.
I just found out. Now I'm feeling bad. All right, I'm not gonna not bring up your chats anymore. So I see Happily Ever After. So my family was never big on fireworks growing up. So I don't know when I liked Illuminations. I liked Illuminations to the music. I never did Happily Ever After. We didn't stay in Magic Kingdom just because.
Wait, you didn't see Happily Ever After?
We always did Illuminations. We did one fireworks show a trip, so we didn't do.
Well,
so we would do
Happily Ever After came out in like 2017, so it's still fairly new.
By 2007, no, wait. I thought Happily Ever After was only that old. Happily Ever After was only around for 5 years.
Yeah,
that seems really short.
Well, it was stopped because of the 50th anniversary. They're bringing it back after the 50th anniversary.
Okay, so after March, it's going to be back then.
Yeah.
All right, then I guess I'll see it when I'm staying at Toledo, Riviera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2018 was the actual starting date?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. May 12th, 2017, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I remember Wishes. I also missed... Oh, you didn't want... Okay, yeah, now they're just playing. Okay. Flash 3PO has... Yeah, okay. I'm surprised you didn't think about the Electromagic Parade.
The Electric Light Parade?
Yeah.
I do love the Electric Light Parade. I want them to bring it back so badly.
So do you think since they brought it back in Disneyland, we'll get it back here at some point?
Hopefully. I missed it in Disneyland. I was so sad.
Have you ever seen the water parade on the Bay Lake?
You mean World of Color?
No, on Bay Lake. So this is kind of cool. And if you're staying in a monorail resort, it's a kind of a cool thing to watch. If you're at one of the resorts for a dinner around 10 o'clock, they have a water pageant parade across Bay Lake that goes around all the hotels that have light up floats.
You're forgetting that I just moved here.
I know.
Never stayed in a resort.
I'm sharing. I'm sorry. It's something that's worth doing if you're ever at any of the hotels for like a late dinner. it's nice to watch. They even theme them around certain holidays. They did stuff for Veterans Day. They did stuff for 4th of July. They have different floats they put in. Who did I forget? What? Who did I forget now? Now I just feel like you're teasing me. All right. All right. So we've gone through your perfect park meal, dining, perfect park attraction, merch, and perfect park entertainment. And we've actually even discussed some memories, which some people don't have any that many of them. I'm glad you shared that Country Bear memory. That's actually a very nice memory. So to kind of round things off, anything you want to share that you're doing next? Anything interesting coming up in the world of Ashton?
You're definitely seeing a lot more vlogging from me in the future now that like I'm actually moved in and situated and like life is less crazy for me. And hopefully no more hurricanes happen. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
we're
just
done.
like look out for more vlogs, more videos. Obviously, you know, Rogue is going to be them and a lot more. Yeah, just like stay tuned. I definitely want to do like a Christmas vlog of me like going to Disney World and like experience because I've never experienced a park, like any theme park in my life during Christmas time.
I will say, and this is just Universal definitely does Christmas pretty well. SeaWorld has all of those classic claymation characters. So Rudolph, Yukon
You're
Cornelius, and
kidding. Okay,
yeah,
I'm obsessed with the stop motion Christmas movies. Like and the guy passed away. The guy who put them all together passed away this year.
so
Like Heat Miser, Snow Miser, Santa Claus
yeah,
is Coming to Town, like all those movies I'm obsessed with. Like
so
obsessed.
so you do get Rudolph the Abominable Snowman and Yukon. I don't think you get Heat Miser and Cold Miser, but SeaWorld and Universal, their Christmas parties are free. So there's no extra added fee. So that's definitely something I would think about doing. Universal has the Grinchmas show, which is amazing. Their whole like Macy's size parade, like those are really cool.
Universal
Uh,
is a Christmas parade?
yeah, huge one. Like almost like just like the Macy's one from
Wow.
like up in New York. Like they Universal does do Christmas really well. So it's a busy time for us theme park people during the holiday season. Uh, and as that hopefully we'll get all of them in for you that we can, Ashton. But I think we're almost up to an hour, and Ashton, I know, is a busy person, and I have to work my way to Magic Kingdom. So I
I
would like to thank.
food. Honestly, I haven't eaten
Yeah,
all day.
it's okay. I have no problem with that. So I'm gonna say, yes. Apparently, I did not know that. It's sad. Oh, Rankin passed away a few years ago. Okay. Well, I want to thank
Batman
everyone
passed
that
away yesterday.
I want to thank everyone that has joined me for the chat. I want to thank for the people that teased me. Even JT, I see you there still. And I want to thank Ashton for being a wonderful guest. And I hope she has safe travels from wherever she is now, and hope everything goes well. And they're saying they want more Universal Harry Potter from you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know they do. I know. There'll be more videos soon, I promise you. More cosplay videos too. I'm actually working on a really awesome cosplay. It's like a duo cosplay for Holiday Matsuri in Orlando. If you're gonna be there, let me know.
Okay.
Speaking, we actually just mentioned, speaking of all the cool stop animation movies for Christmas time, one of my cosplays is going to be a reference to that. You can guess what it is. Very exciting, very exciting. But yeah,
Well,
we'll definitely be more videos for sure.
Well, I want to thank everyone for stopping in. This is the Rogue Attraction. This is Perfect Park Day. Don't be afraid to be the fool. Have fun on your vacations. Uh, don't forget to bite. I won't bite. He might. It's been a long day, and I'm looking for my outro bumper. And one more comment. Who said this? Oh, saying hi. I'm just ending now, Robert. I'm sorry. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next time for a Perfect Park Day. I'm still not sure who it is yet. So, bye.